Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Tom.
It's our health unit. We're talking about exploring the effects of blue light. This has become a popular topic, I think, in like the last, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I guess our screens emit or push out this blue light that's hard on our eyes. I haven't noticed that it affects me at all, to be honest. But, we're going to talk about it for the next couple of lessons.
It's theoretical at this point, but yes, it's been out for quite some time. I remember at least 10 years ago, people saying that, you need to wear these special glasses if you're using the internet all the time. And you'd have to go buy these glasses and put them on and stuff like that.
Can I just say for the record, though, Tom, you and I both remember the Y2K problem.
Right.
And, businesses demanded that you spend millions of dollars and do some special funky tricks to your computer so that everything didn't just collapse on, I guess, the 1st of January when this new I guess it's a century change.
Right, yeah, the millennium,
in
the new
2000.
millennium. Yeah.
But I have to tell you, even back then, I looked into it a little bit and I thought, this is such a fraudulent idea. So you have to, I've read articles too where people dismiss the blue light theory. So you guys out there, we're all smart. You take in information from good sources and then you decide what you want to believe.
Right. Whether or not blue light affects your vision is debatable, but I would say that spending less time on our screens for other reasons should be considered, like having a more active social life, getting physically fit, going out in nature and breathing fresh air. I think we can all plead guilty to spending too much time on our screens, especially our smartphones.
I agree.
That's for a different day to talk about. We're going to explore the effects of blue light, however, in today's lesson. So let's get to it, everybody. Let's introduce our topic by listening to the first paragraph.
It's hard to escape blue light in the modern era. It's produced by all our screens, TVs, phones, and computers. You may have heard some disturbing stories about the impact blue light can have on our eyes, our sleep, and our health in general. Let's get to the bottom of things. Blue light basics. But first, what is blue light? It's part of the visible light spectrum of electromagnetic waves. This means our eyes can perceive it. Blue light waves possess almost as much energy as ultraviolet waves, which have been shown to be harmful to both our skin and eyes. Most blue light comes from the sun, but it's also emitted by light bulbs, and in particular, by the LEDs that sit behind our cell phone screens, TVs, and monitors. It's this widespread presence in modern technology that has people concerned, as it means our eyes are absorbing greater amounts of it than before. Keeping an eye on the research. Blue light from the sun doesn't affect our eyes, but the fear is that the close proximity of our devices could cause us damage. So far, studies have not yet backed up this concern. However, researchers point out that since most devices are relatively new, few long-term studies of the effects of blue light have yet been conducted. While blue light may not directly injure our eyes, staring at screens for extended periods harms us in other ways, such as causing eye strain and headaches. What's more, blue light presents a different kind of hazard. It endangers our sleep.
Okay, let's talk about the content of today's lesson, and we are exploring the effects of blue light. We're talking about them, and scientists are doing research, and people are making conclusions about this, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, blue light, is it bad for us, or is it okay? Do we need to worry about it or not? Well, it's hard to escape blue light in the modern era. It's produced by all our screens, TVs, phones, and computers. You could also call those our devices. And of course, we're living in the modern era. Era just refers to a period of time in history, and that also refers to modern times. And for example, you could talk about the Japanese colonial era here in Taiwan between 1895 and 1945, when Taiwan was a colony of Japan. That's the Japanese colonial era. And in the modern era, of course, we've got all these devices, our phones, our computers, our tablets, and our TVs. I don't know how much TV people are watching these days other than on their phone. I think, at least for myself, we don't really turn on the television very often. We get plenty of content on our phones.
Well, some families have those big flat screens, and they can take their phones and have their whatever they're wanting to watch. They can actually shoot it to the TV, and so it's on a bigger screen than just your phone, which is really nice.
To kind of send the signal there, like Bluetooth or something like that. Indeed. And yes, we stare at those screens all day long. Just look around and look at yourself. And yes, indeed, you're probably staring at a screen right now. And so you might be being contaminated by blue light.
Oh, no.
Well, you may have heard some disturbing stories about the impact blue light can have on our eyes, our sleep, and our health in general. Yes, indeed, this news has been floating around for many years, and, well, some people are concerned about it, others don't really care, or other people are like, well, if it does harm my eyes, fine, I still need to look at my phone, I just can't live without it, so if I go blind, that's the price you pay.
Well, if something is disturbing, guys, that's one of our vocab words. It means it is causing you some stress, some worry, perhaps. I don't sleep very well. I'm often disturbed by noises in my apartment or outside my door. I have one neighbor who comes home from work really late. She works a different shift, and I can always hear her put her key into the door and we'll go in. But and she tries to be very quiet. She's very, very nice.
Very considerate.
Yes, and I try not to make noise when I get up really early because I know she's still sleeping. So, yeah, things can be disturbing if they bother you. There's something about it that gives you a little bit of anxiety or makes you worry. You could also say you've heard some bothersome stories or some worrying stories. We'll often say that too. But yeah, something disturbs you. It interrupts something that should function in a normal way.
Right, it can bother you, like news reports of the crime rates going up. That can be quite disturbing.
Yeah.
Or the fact that the ozone layer is disappearing. Ooh, that can be quite disturbing. It can bother you. And in this particular case, though, these stories are disturbing about the impact that blue light can have on various things, on our eyes or our vision, on our sleep, and on our health in general. So yes, indeed, you may have heard these news reports saying that, hey, if you spend too much time on your devices, you're going to lose sleep, and you won't be able to perform at the office very well the next day, and the other guy in the office will get the promotion and you won't.
You'll be sleeping, yeah.
Exactly. And also, it might affect our health in general. It might give us high blood pressure, for example. It might give us diabetes. Who knows? So let's get to the bottom of things. Yes, let's talk about this, and let's try to figure out exactly if this is true or not.
Yeah, if you use that phrase, let's get to the bottom of things, or let's get to the bottom of this problem, let's get to the bottom. You'll hear that a lot with people who are just having a conversation. It means you know there's a problem, but you're not really sure what all the reasons for the problem could be. So you want to do some investigation. You want to do some work and see if you can find out the reason why something is happening. You want to get to the bottom of this. So we're going to get to the bottom of these things by looking at this issue in different ways. First of all, blue light basics. When you talk about the basics of things, you you set up the situation, you define terms that maybe some people don't know. I remember the first time I saw blue light glasses for sale, and I thought, what in the world is this? Some problem that they've come up with, and we got to buy something else to make sure, we don't die young. So blue light basics, well, first of all, what is blue light? What is blue light, Tom?
Well, it's part of the visible light spectrum of electromagnetic waves. So if we're talking about waves, we're talking about things that go through the air like radio waves or X-rays, etc., etc. Infrared, those are all different types of waves that are going through the air. And they are electromagnetic waves. They have to do with electricity and magnetism. And we're also talking about the spectrum, which means the range of something. So if you look at a chart of the electromagnetic waves that exist in the universe, you'll find that the visible light spectrum is pretty small. We can't really see a lot, and that's visible light, light which we can see. But of course, there's infrared and ultraviolet and X-rays and gamma rays, etc., that we cannot see. But yes, indeed, blue light is part of the visible light spectrum. So we should be able to actually see blue light, even though it doesn't really make everything blue out there. Everybody doesn't look like a Smurf.
No, that's so true. Sometimes we use spectrum to classify something. Maybe you have a range of something. For example, I could say, this man falls right there in the middle of the spectrum between the blue party and the green party. He's kind of in the middle. So sometimes you use spectrum, you'll see spectrum to talk about a range of things where there's a position that can be, the two very extreme positions are far apart from each other. But right now we're talking about a band of colors like a rainbow. We've all seen rainbows in the sky. That's a spectrum of colors.
Indeed, and we'll continue talking about blue light in just a couple of seconds, but we're going to take a break right now and listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, 我是派老师。今天讲解的是12月13号 Unit 6，Exploring the Effects of Blue Light 第一天的课程。这个单元带大家探讨健康议题。大家都听过蓝光 Blue Light， 可是理解有限。其实因为3C 产品普及，我们长时间使用，不论工作、休闲、娱乐都盯着荧幕看，而荧幕会发出蓝光，可能伤害眼睛，也会造成睡眠障碍。好，我们现在一起来看看学习重点，请看到第一段的第2个句子 You may have heard some disturbing stories。 请同学注意到 disturbing， 请画起来。一般而言，我们知道 disturb 是打扰的意思，不过 disturbing 加了 ing， 它是个形容词，它其实意思就是 worrying， 令人担忧的。所以呢，大家都知道一些令人担忧的故事，大家都听过了。好，那到底大家在担心什么？就是蓝光对我们的眼睛、睡眠，还有一般而言的健康状态有什么影响 ？The impact， 那就是冲击影响。再来，请看到第3个句子，请同学把它画起来。Let's get to the bottom of things。这个句子很好用哦，其实就是追根究底的意思。好，请同学看到第2段的第2句。这边是在解说到底什么是蓝光 It's part of the visible light spectrum of electromagnetic waves 所以蓝光就是电磁波当中可见光谱的一部分 Electromagnetic 就是电磁的
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about the effects of blue light. Actually, we're going to be exploring the effects of blue light. And if you don't know much about it, this will be a good couple of days for you to learn more about blue light. what the theories are, what people might be concerned about with regards to blue light. I'm not very concerned, but, you might be, and it might affect you a lot more than other people. So we can't get away from blue light. It's produced by all the screens that we have in our lives, our TVs, our phones, our computers. I'm probably on my computer more than anything else. I don't have a TV. And if I want to watch something, I use my computer. But yeah, a lot of people are constantly on a screen of one type or another.
Right, and blue light is probably just one of many problems, but we'll talk about that some other time. But again, blue light is visible. It's in the spectrum of electromagnetic waves that are visible, and this means our eyes can perceive it. We can actually see blue light. Blue light waves possess almost as much energy as ultraviolet light, or ultraviolet waves, which is UV for short, and they have been shown to be harmful to both our skin and eyes. Don't I know it? I've been out here in Taiwan without sunscreen on summer days, and I've suffered terrible sunburns before I learned my lesson. So that can, of course, be harmful to your skin. It can also be harmful to your eyes. So if you're outside on a hot summer's day, you do need to protect your vision. Maybe wear sunglasses or wear eyeglasses. They usually have UV protection built in.
I don't know. This is just an observation by me, but I feel like, generally speaking, Taiwanese folks don't wear sunglasses as much as Americans.
True.
If you're in America, you're in sunglasses all the time. I think part of that is they think it looks cool, or they're really stylish. But the sun is so strong here. I discovered that as well. I've been on activity and events with my church, and, we're out in the sun all day, and I think, I grew up in Arizona. We have strong sun. Oh my goodness, I got so sunburned here, even though I'd put on sunscreen. Well, this blue light can have an effect, some people think, on our eyes, our sleep, and our health in general. So first of all, what is it? We talked about this before the break. It's a part of the visible light spectrum of electromagnetic waves. And our eyes can actually see this blue light. It perceives it. Blue light waves possess or have almost as much energy as ultraviolet rays, or we call them waves here. UV waves or rays are the ones we like to avoid because it does give you either a sunburn or a suntan. And I know suntans aren't popular here. The ladies like that really white skin if they can do it. We like tans in America. We would love your skin there. So it has been shown, though, to be harmful to both our skin and eyes. UV rays I'm talking about. Most blue light comes from the sun, but it's also emitted by light bulbs. Those little things that we put in our lamps, and sometimes I have fluorescent lights in my apartment. I hate those, but, it's what the landlord put in. And those can have blue light as well. In particular, things that have LEDs that sit behind our cell phone screens or TVs, our monitors, computer monitors, those emit that blue light according to some studies. Now, if you're talking about a monitor, we use it in different ways, but here we're talking about the computer monitor or the screens that are connected to our laptop, or could be a separate piece of equipment if you have a desktop computer.
I think that TVs come in both plasma and LEDs. I'm not quite sure which ones are more common, but LEDs, of course, refer to light-emitting diodes, and they will be in your cell phone and in your TV, in some TVs, and then in your computer monitors. And it's this widespread presence in modern technology that has people concerned, as it means our eyes are absorbing greater amounts of it than before. So yes, indeed, indeed, it is a concern by people, some people, because we're looking at those screens all the time. What I'm concerned about here is LEDs, because nowadays we have LED light bulbs instead of the old fluorescent ones or the tungsten ones. And so, gee, if you turn your light bulbs on, are you going to be harming yourself with blue light? That's something I should probably look into, but we don't really cover it here. We're talking mostly about the screens in our devices. Now, let's move on now to the next paragraph here. It says, keeping an eye on the research, which means we're going to be, looking at the research, and studies are being conducted all the time, and they come out with new information. Some say, yes, blue light will harm you. Others say, oh, no, it's harmless. Don't worry about that. So we need to continue to look at the research. Blue light from the sun doesn't affect our eyes, but the fear is that the close proximity of our devices could cause us damage. So we don't need to be too concerned about blue light coming from the sun. We do need to be concerned about UV rays coming from the sun. But blue light is a very low concern. But we do need to worry about whether we're getting blue light contamination because of close proximity of our devices that could cause us damage. Now, proximity just refers to how close you are to something. The school is in the proximity of the post office, so students can send postcards to their pen pals very easily after school. Proximity means the nearness of something. And yes, our close proximity to our devices could cause us damage. My goodness, people are staring at their screens all the time. I'm afraid that people are going to start turning into turtles because they bend their heads down so far to play those ridiculous video games.
Yeah, when I pass the young folks on the sidewalk or even in an elevator, I want to say, lift your head up. Lift your head up. You're going to get that awful slumped back that usually doesn't happen until you're 70 or 80.
Well, most people are going to say, that's something that happens to other people, not to me.
Yeah, well, what is true, though, is as far as research goes, the studies have not backed up this concern. They haven't found data that actually matches this worry. But they're still doing more research, of course. Researchers point out that since most devices are relatively new, few long-term studies of the effects of blue light have been conducted. That's always the problem. If you don't have long-term data, you really don't know whether something's good or harmful. So it'll take a while. Hopefully we don't hurt ourselves before the real data or truth rolls out. While blue light may not directly injure or hurt our eyes, staring at screens for extended periods harms us in other ways. That is true. If you talk about extended periods of time, it just means time that has been expanded in scope. So maybe you needed to extend you asked for extension on a deadline for a paper that you had due or that your boss wanted you to finish. So if you ask for an extension, you just want to postpone something. So the deadline is further down the road. But here it just means longer periods of time. We do know that it causes eye strain. How would you describe eye strain?
Well, you're holding your eyes in a position that is not natural for a long time, so that will stretch the muscles and the tendons in your eye and cause damage, and maybe in the future it will be difficult to move your eyes around, or you might go blind or something because you keep staring at the same thing so close all the time. It might affect your retina, who knows, but yes, that's eye strain. You might also get headaches, so that's something to be concerned about. And what's more, blue light presents a different kind of hazard. It endangers our sleep. And that's what we're going to talk about next time. Blue light is supposed to be something we see during the day, but not at night. So if you have blue light at night, you're probably going to stay up later than you normally would. And here, hazard just refers to something that causes you harm or damage. There are many hazards on the road, for example, so be careful. And to endanger just means to cause trouble or cause danger. We often use the word endangered when we talk about animals that are close to going extinct, like critically endangered. Like I believe orangutans are endangered in the wild. They may disappear eventually, and only we can find them. We'll be able to only find them in zoos.
Okay, guys, we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher one more time, and then we'll be back to sign off.
好，紧接着我们看到第4个句子，这里有一项可怕的事实值得大家注意。大家都知道阳光紫外线对人体可能造成危害，为了避免过度曝晒，我们懂得擦防晒乳。不过事实上，蓝光所拥有的能量几乎与紫外线 UV 一样多，大家却不知道防范。这不是老师信口乱说的，请看第4个句子就讲到 Blue light waves possess almost as much energy as UV waves. 这边就讲到蓝光的能量跟 UV 一样的多哦 which have been shown to be harmful to both our skin and eyes. 所以会伤害我们的皮肤，也会伤害眼睛。再来，请同学看到第5个句子，我要请同学特别注意的是逗点之后 but 所引导的句子 is also emitted by light bulbs. 所以蓝光是什么释放出来的？这里用被动语态。原来啊，灯泡会释放出来。那这个 emit 是一个非常实用的动词，气体、辐射都可以呢用 emit 来当动词，甚至声音也可以作为 emit 的受词哦。比方说 The little boy emitted a sound like laughter. 所以呢，这个小男孩他发出了一个像笑声的声音。好，那一般而言呢，我们会是说这个排放什么气体 emit carbon dioxide， 那当然就是排放二氧化碳。再来，请同学看到第6个句子，这边就讲到说，这里呢，其实啊，蓝光是很普遍的 ，widespread presence， 到处都有。然后呢，造成大家很担心。OK, has people concerned. Concern 这里呢，就是用来修饰后位修饰人的，就是大家都非常的担心。为什么 ？As it means， 请同学特别注意到第6个句子逗点之后的这个 as， 它是个连接词，它就是因为哦，因为呢，我们的眼睛是会吸收到蓝光的。好，再来，请同学看到第3段这边，第3段这个标题还蛮有趣的 ，Keeping an eye on the research。这基本上呢就是 play on words。怎么说？这里我们都知道说，其实在谈蓝光对眼睛的影响。可是 keep an eye on something， 其实也有什么呢？特别注意什么？像譬如说 ，Will you keep an eye on my luggage while I go to the restroom？ 我去使用洗手间的时候，可不可以请你帮我看着行李呀？好，那这边就是要我们特别注意一些相关的研究。好，请看到同学，请看到第1个句子。好，请特别注意到的就是 cause us damage。原来啊，这个蓝光如果呢你看荧幕的距离太近的话 ，close proximity。如果呢太近的时候呢，就会对我们造成伤害 ，cause us damage。再来，请同学看到第2个句子。其实相关的研究还不够多，所以大家的担忧好像呢还没有得到研究的证实和支持。所以 back up 呢其实就是证实、支持的意思。那再来，老师给大家一个例句哦，比方说我们当然知道说现在新闻查证非常的重要啊，所以不要只是控诉别人，对吧？那这里呢，新闻记者他做了报道，是有证人声明的，可以证实他的说法。The journalist has the witness's statement to back up her claim. 支持、证实自己的说法 ，back up her claim. 好，再来，请同学呢看到第4个句子这里，那有几个词，请同学特别注意的，就是我们说长时间 for extended periods， 这里呢所指的就是长时间做什么事情。那再来，长时间盯着荧幕看的话呢，眼睛会疲劳 eye strain 指的就是呢眼睛疲劳。好，以上就是我们针对蓝光这篇文章所做的第一天的中文讲解，谢谢大家。
Well, that's it for day one, guys. We're going to continue talking about the effects of blue light, especially on our sleep. And if you're like me, you really do love sleeping. I wish I could sleep better, so I'm definitely going to be here when we talk about that. For English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom. Goodbye.
Bye.